Okay, good morning everybody. It is Tuesday, August 17th, 2021, and we are looking at the S&P 500 futures market here. We're going to get started with our pre-market analysis and jump to our ultra-high time frames here just to take a look at what's going on. See if anything's changed since yesterday, and nothing has changed here on the quarterly, the monthly, and the weekly. All three of the ultra-high time frames look extremely bullish with no signs of exhaustion just yet. When we get down to our daily, we did have, and I told everyone last night, I put an alert in our multiple time frame alert channel that our daily did close with a bearish indication. So we did have that on the daily. We also had it over here on the 4 hour. So our daily and our 4 hour going into the Globex session last night were giving us some pretty clear bearish indications up top there. And you can see I've now changed this from a lime green color to a more dull green color because overall everything does look very bullish, but we do have our bearish signal off the current high, which is going to be the first level that the bulls will have to contend with here coming into this morning. Same thing there on the 4 hour. We've got a very bullish case overall, but we cannot ignore the fact that we do have the bearish case off of the previous daily high, which is again another new all-time high, which we seem to have been doing pretty much every morning here, having a pullback in the Globex session, a push to a new all-time high, pullback in the Globex session, push to a new all-time high. And we've just been seeing this go on now for, what seems like maybe a little bit over a week of market action. So this morning now we do have the bearish indication off the previous daily high. We have this pullback coming into Globex. And something I do want to point out here is just starting with the daily. Although we don't like to talk about the current candle because we have a lot of time for this candle to develop and the story will change. 100% will change by the time things close this afternoon. But for right now, we can just kind of make this very slight argument that price has pushed to a higher high, but the RVI pushed to a lower high. So for whatever that's worth, we have that. And when we get down to our 4 hour here, we do have a clear bullish divergence off of the overnight low. So we have this case where things look bullish. We do have a bullish indication off of the most local low in price right now, but we have that bearish signal off of the previous daily high there. So let's go down to our 60-minute. And this is also part of what I talked about last night in our chat room, that although we did have the 4 hour and the daily, which are both very strong time frames, our 60-minute was not showing a bearish divergence off of that previous daily high, which did make me a little bit skeptical of really putting a lot of faith in the 4 hour and the daily signal. However, so far, those signals have led to what looks to be just about a 20, almost 30 point sell-off here. So far, so good for those signals. But the 60-minute, again, did not have a bearish signal off the high. And what we're getting here now is another bullish indication. Or actually, we have a clear bull signal here off the overnight low at 44.47. And then when we came back down to retest 44.47 here, we bounced at a tick in front of it and got another bullish divergence on the 60-minute. So right now, we are seeing a little bit, again, 4 hour, and then maybe you can make a little bit of an argument right now with that daily, but more so going to want to kind of just ignore that. We have the 4 hour and we have the hourly, both giving bullish divergences off of this overnight low, and we're going to see this as we dial down to the shorter time frames as well. So right now, this is kind of where we are on the 60-minute here. And so let's go down to our intermediate time frames, and we'll take a look at the 30-minute first here. And you can see on the 30-minute, no clear bearish divergence off that overnight high or previous daily high. but we do have off of the overnight low, or at least the test of the overnight low, a very clear bullish divergence over here. So that 30-minute is agreeing, and overall, if we had to kind of count things here, we do have a lot more bullish indications here off these lows than we do the bearish indications. If we look all the way back to that previous swing low there, you can see that we have pushed to make a higher low, but we did make a lower low on RVI, so arguably even have a bullish divergence off this previous daily low as well. So that's where we are here on the 30-minute. And if you look, I did draw another fib retracement here from the previous daily low to the previous daily high, and we pull back and we are sitting kind of like what we've been talking about in previous days, right around that 61.8 retracement area, and they broke it. Let's say 49.25 went to 47, so less than 2 points, and you could even see a really nice wick. We don't even have a body that has pushed down there, but we did come down essentially holding this 61.8 retracement area. It doesn't mean it's guaranteed to hold. There's no absolutes here with trading, but so far it is holding, and for what that's worth, that's what we have right now. You can see that if we do pull back a little bit deeper here and we get maybe you could call that like a 75% retracement of this whole leg, we do pull back right to all this previous resistance we had in the market, right around 44.43. So want to also kind of keep that in mind there, that if this does break lower, this would be the next interesting area that could hold for the bulls here, and then another drop from that level, if that doesn't hold, would bring us essentially right back to the previous daily low. But you don't want to ignore this 44.38 area. So this 44.38, I think I have it marked on my shorter time frames, but that 44.38 right in between there and that 32.50 are both key levels as well. So want to keep that in mind. Just to wrap up the 30-minute here, we are holding just around 61. Looks like they're about to actually break lower here, but we do have the bullish case on the 30-minute off the overnight low. Let's go ahead, and then from the 10-minute perspective, if we go back, that 30-minute did have a nice bullish divergence off of that low over there, and we do have it here as well on the 10-minute. And then in this local area right now, off of that test of 44.47, we did get a bullish divergence, but as you can see, currently as I'm speaking, it looks like we might come down and push a little bit lower here. So we're going to want to watch that. There's that 38. I have it marked as 38.50. So somewhere around 38 to 38.50, an interesting level. And then a little bit deeper, there's that overnight low as well. So we're going to want to watch here. If they do break lower, we have some interesting levels to watch. And to me, that 42.75-ish area makes the most sense here if we continue to break lower, but we'll just have to see, right? And if we get some clear signals, we'll go ahead and try them. And so that's where we're left this morning. We do have a lot of bullish indications off the lows, and we did just break below that 44.47 area, so it looks like we could pull back deeper. So the idea here is we do have more so of a bullish bias than we do a bearish bias. We're just going to have to see at what levels here we get some good signals to try it long. So I'll leave it at that for this morning. It's been essentially the same thing for a while now, so I don't really have anything else to offer. We don't have enough clues of bearishness off of the previous daily high up there to indicate to me that we're going to have an extreme sell-off here of 100 points, 150, 200 points with some big correction. Of course, that is always possible because anything's possible in the market here, but I don't have enough signals to tell me that that's going to happen here. kind of like yesterday. So yesterday we had a not enough bearish indications off the highs to expect any type of major sell-off, and basically the market pushed about 10 points lower just after the open, and then we had a huge rally. Let me just bring up this chart to show you here. So we opened right around here, pushed another 10 points lower, and then that was it. We came all the way back and pushed to new all-time highs, which is essentially what we said yesterday morning, is that we didn't really expect any type of major sell-off, and we were looking for longs off of pullbacks. In fact, one of the levels we talked about yesterday is to get long somewhere around 31.75, and they bounced at 32.50. So just a few ticks in front of that level we were watching is where we got the final bounce and that push. So this morning, essentially the same thing. We could have more of a pullback. They could even go ahead and break the previous daily low and get it a little bit more exaggerated here. But then we're overall looking for longs for a continuation higher.